Welcome! I'm Esther Buerki, the author of Living Without Fear and the co-publisher of the Amazon best-selling Inspired Journeys. Get in touch with me if you want to start living without fear or writing your book. And please share this podcast with a friend who you know needs to hear this episode, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, this will help that many more people will find this episode. When I sat down to prepare this episode, I was thinking about my younger self, who was sometimes so desperate and so lost in this world. And I was asking myself, what would I have needed to hear to become more self-confident and feel less not being good enough? Maybe you're asking yourself this question as well. What I want to say first is that it is not possible to turn a switch and hope it's done. I can only progress by looking at it daily and doing the work. So let's ask the question, what can I do today to be kind to myself? Because all starts with self. If you think it's coming from outside, I bet it's not gonna work. And please believe me, I was searching all these years in the outer world. I thought, if I find a job that really suits me, or if I find a friendly work environment with a kind boss and sensitive colleague, I will succeed. Or I thought, if I find the man I can have children with, and if I'm in a beautiful relationship, I will feel fulfilled. And I believed that if I can teach my children all I learned during the years, I will feel great and thrive for the rest of my life. But it doesn't work like this. And it didn't work at all for me. I felt lost, and I had the impression that I'm doing the wrong things, and I didn't learn much to feel happy and fulfilled. And I was looking for a new therapist who could teach me the missing piece in my self-development. In the beginning, it always felt great when I could share my suffering and my life problems with this person. And I recognized that she understood me. This was a blessing for me because my parents didn't understand me. And even today, after reading my story and my book, Living Without Fear, my father told me that he didn't understand why I was suffering. My therapist gave me a lot of hope to continue with the journey. I sometimes spent a whole week in a group therapy retreat where I learned a lot and where I understood that everybody has his or her burden to carry. But after a while, I lost again my self-confidence. I felt worthless. I believed that my therapists were repeating themselves, and I couldn't take them seriously. I was even criticizing them, well, more in my thoughts because I was afraid of telling them. So at the end, I felt like a failure again. Nobody could help me, and I was the problem in all this. Until the moment I started meditation with Deepak Chopra, and he was talking about self-love. I remember I was in India at that moment, and I got up always very early to meditate and journal until the other women of my group started their day. It was always dark outside when I walked to the yoga hall, when I put my mats down with the light of my cell phone and I started meditating. Listening to the voice of this wise meditation teacher, Deepak Chopra, I suddenly realized that nobody else than myself could start loving me and seeing the real worth in me. Nobody else than myself could recognize the value I have in the most authentic way, because I know myself the best. Nobody else than me knows me better. And the things that other people would be saying about myself, positive or also negative things, would not matter at all. They all would have their own motivation to judge me, but the only real worth someone could give to me was myself. And slowly, I could see that all started with the way I was thinking about myself. Meditation and journaling helped me and still helps me a lot to give me self-worth and self-love in moments when I feel all over the place and not centered in myself. I'm so grateful that I started this journey, and I know this journey never ends until I leave this world, and it is worth every minute I spend in silence and when I listen to my inner world. I know now my inner world is the center of my being. Whatever can be happening in the outer world, there is my inner world where I can find peace and happiness. And no one in the outer world can destroy my inner world. This is so comforting because I often believed that people wanted to put me down. For example, when I lost a job, what happened so many times. If you still believe that others want to harm you, if you still believe that you don't live in a friendly universe, I can so much relate to your feelings and beliefs. But I'd like to encourage you. Try to see the good in things happening to you and in people. If you approach the things from this angle, you will experience more and more that the good things are coming to you to help you to feel happy and fulfilled. If you don't believe me, let's have a chat. And if you need more tips on how to become self-confident and feel your self-worth, please order my book, Living Without Fear, on Amazon. Someone wrote to me recently, "Your book is wonderful and healing. A few tears at first, and I'm sure there will be more. This book opens my heart. When I read it in the evening, I always easily fall asleep and wake up content, happy, and closer to myself." Isn't this beautiful? So thank you, dear listener, for spending your time with me and not giving up searching for answers to your questions. In case you feel worthless and nobody seems to like you, I tell you, you're awesome, you're loving, and you matter. And please don't stop telling yourself these sentences hundreds and hundreds of times to get them in your system. Have an amazing day and talk to you next week.